Congratulations! You've unlocked All Apologies, a show about apology tours and demanding satisfaction. I'm your host, Trucker Andy, and with me, as always, is your co-host, Joe Sixpack. Joe, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Just a reminder, go to allapologies.com, allapologiespodcast.com. That's what somebody said at one point. Oh, I searched all apologies and your show's hard to find.
No,
And I
it's
think it was producer Chris said, well, did you put podcast after it? Because then it pops right up. So make sure if you're looking for the show, put allapologiespodcast.com. That's where you'll find all the links to our Patreon, Instagram, X, TikTok, what else, Andy? Facebook, all the links
no
to
Facebook,
everything. And what'd you say?
YouTube, Patreon,
YouTube.
Instagram. Those are
Yeah,
all the places, and that's where you're going to find the people that make this show happen, like
yeah.
John Gacy, Nelly, Dr. Steve, Brenda, Trevor, Ann, Jackie Marlowe, SJ, Ray Guitard, Harry Zoe, Kate, Tony, Bad at Karate, Waylon, Notorious Cretin, Brian, Orange Julius, Sean, Principled Uncertainty, Bob, Hunter Duke, Nicola, Balsam, Kyle, Aaron, Tigran, Fun Kilo, Leo, Hall and Oates, The Negative Creep, and Simon. These are the people that everybody that doesn't pay for the show, you could thank those people because they're the ones that make this show happen.
They're
Okay.
my heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody, you should be sucking their dicks like Andy King because we just did Andy King on the mini, and
Well,
he
we did the Firefest too.
Firefest too.
Not Andy King specifically. Billy
Spoiler alert.
McFarlane.
I just spoiled the mini for everyone, but everybody knows what that guy was.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Andy King was willing to suck dick for Avion a pallet of water.
I'm bad at running a show. We don't have Ed today, everybody, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna
Ed's
do.
real life is getting in the way of our very important show.
Yeah,
Andy and I are headed to New Orleans. I guess will we be? Yeah, this will air while we're there. I think, right? Andy and I will be drunk on Bourbon Street while this is playing.
yeah, yeah, and
Oh,
I'm not.
it looked like our topic for the day was dressed like he's in New Orleans. I saw some purple and gold there.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, spoiler alert. This week we're talking. It's not a spoiler alert. It's in the title of the episode. If you're listening to this, we're talking about Dustin Diamond, aka Screech. All right, rest in piss. Uh, so Dustin Diamond is best known for being on every incarnation of Saved by the Bell. It was that Miss Bliss shit in 1988, and then all the way down to the college years and the new class, where it was just him and Mr. Belding getting humiliated by children. So
Yeah.
he did that
He
from
was like what,
88
Mr.
to 2000.
Belding's assistant or
Yeah,
something in the new
yeah,
one.
yeah. He's an RA at a high school. He's a,
Yeah.
what the fuck are you doing? He's like the janitor. I don't know. I didn't
Yeah.
watch it,
He worked at
but
the dorm for a high school.
yeah.
But
So he did that from 88 to 2000, and then, like every child star that's only known for one thing, like, he went the way of Urkel and just couldn't get work and went into obscurity and had a hard time dealing with the fact that he used to be beloved and now nobody gives a shit about him. People like
child
still like
actor.
that show, but yeah, child actor syndrome. But he didn't go on to do other things like Mark Paul Gosselaar and Mario Lopez and Tiffany Amber Thiessen. These people went on to have actual careers, whereas Lark Voorhees and Dustin Diamond just became, I don't know, punchlines. I don't,
Turned out, yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
So
yeah, Dustin Diamond was kind of famously did boxing, celebrity like, he could have very easily boxed Stuttering John at one point,
yeah, yeah,
or opened at a comedy club for Stuttering John.
he was doing third rate wrestling with the likes of Doink the Clown and one of the Bushwhackers,
He
people
probably fought Danny Bonaducci.
something like that.
Yeah.
What
These
but the other thing that he did, Joe, was write a tell-all book where he just shit on everybody on the cast. Probably just clout chasing because he had nothing going on. He thought he would drum up some kind of scandal and get some recognition for that. And
And Zach Morris was like,
Why you bringing up old shit?
yeah. So, but in the meantime, he turned all of his former castmates against him. So now he has to go on Dr. Oz and apologize for that. So
ooh,
let's take a look at this. Get this shit out of here.
If they're watching right now, which some of them are, I was Mario last week. I suspect he might watch.
Right.
What would you tell them? Say it to them.
I will say, guys, I think you're fantastic. Working with you has been just one of the icons of my life. And I'm sorry that this has taken advantage of me, the book and other situations I'm sure we'll talk about here. But I'm sure that you've experienced downfalls as well in your time. And I'm still loving you guys.
Icons of your life is not a saying. That's not how you say that.
yeah, Dr. Oz is like, I'm sure Zach Morris is watching the Dr. Oz program right now. Dr. Oz,
Are you a psychiatrist?
no, you are not. You're not. You're barely a doctor, and you're definitely not. You lost to a guy who had a stroke in a
Yeah.
political election.
Yeah. But you saying that Mario Lopez raped a girl on the set of Saved by the Bell was an icon of his life. So there are multiple allegations in this book that is what he's apologizing for there that include, let's see, the top 10. I found a top 10 list of the things that Dustin Diamond pissed off
Hang
the
on,
entire
Andy.
cast of Saved by the Bell with.
This is your future. Sitting and apologizing.
Yeah.
Right.
Spoiler alert, he doesn't have much of a future. So reason number one, Dustin Diamond has a large penis and has used it to have sex with more than 2,000 women, most of whom he picked up at Disneyland. So he would basically go to Disneyland and wait to get recognized and then take women on the Haunted Mansion and get blowjobs and fuck them on the Haunted
Just
Mansion.
about that action, boss.
Yeah. Yeah, Dustin Diamond's all about that Haunted Mansion action.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, it's a spooky boner. Watch out for Screeches. It's not a wicked witch. It's a Screech boner coming at you.
There's ectoplasm coming out of it.
Yeah. Yes. Excuse me. Could you clean up our car? There's ectoplasm all over it. I think Dustin Diamond was on
This is
this.
a realistic ride.
Yeah. All right.
This
So
is
then number
4D. This is a 4D ride.
And then the second one was the Mario Lopez. NBC paid a girl hush money to keep it quiet that Mario Lopez raped her. I mentioned that one. It was an icon of his life. Number three, Tiffany. Go ahead.
These are just all things that he said in the book.
Yeah, this
Because,
is why
you'd be like, oh, you would hear both. You would be like, Mario Lopez raped a girl on the set of Saved by the Bell, and then somebody else's book would say Mario Lopez was a closeted homosexual that never touched a boob in his whole life. Like, okay, anyway,
the truth is always somewhere in between. So he was raping a guy.
he's bi.
Yeah. He raped Screech is the real truth.
Yeah, right.
So number three, Tiffany Amber Thiessen cheated on some guy, Johnny Dakota. Is that your real name?
Is that Randy Daytona's cousin?
Yeah, it's Jackie Daytona. He's taking the girls' volleyball team to state.
Wait, I guess Daytona is just the go-to cool guy name, right? Because Randy Daytona was from Balls of Fury, wasn't he?
Yeah,
And
underrated
Jackie
movie.
Daytona's, yeah, okay.
Everybody go watch Balls of Fury. It's
Everyone change your last name to Daytona.
It's one of my favorite. Oh, it was Johnny Dakota, Joe, not Daytona.
Oh, I know. That's why I said cousin. But
Oh yeah, but yeah,
Randy and Jackie. I was
if this guy's last name was Daytona, Tat never would have cheated on him.
I wanted to say Jackie Daytona, but I said Randy, but it turns out that's a cool guy too.
Yeah. But Johnny Dakota was getting cheated on by Tiffany Amber Thiessen with both Mario Lopez and Mark Paul Gosselaar, according to Dustin Diamond. Number four, during the No Hope with Dope episode, everybody that was a cast member on the show was just smoking weed all the time. That's not damning. I mean, you'd be
Shut the fuck up.
You'd be stupid not to be smoking weed.
Yeah, shut up, nerd.
Yeah. I guess, that's more like these people aren't as squeaky clean as maybe you think they are. He's just trying to paint them with that a scandalous brush. Elizabeth Berkley also cheated with Mark, Paul Gosselaar, and Mario Lopez, but only once Tiffany Amber Thiessen was done with them both. So Elizabeth Berkley got Tats sloppy seconds, and then Lark Voorhees got sloppy thirds, is number 6. When Lark Voorhees was engaged to Martin Lawrence, he abused her, at a minimum verbally.
Hey,
They got in a fight once, is what
Maybe
Dustin
fuck yourself.
Diamond would have you believe. Yeah, how about you fuck yourself? And then let's see, Dustin Diamond had sex with the vice president of NBC's children's programming.
was that what's his name? Brian Robbins from fucking Nickelodeon.
Yeah. Number 9, Mark Paul Gosselaar confessed to the cast that he took steroids before the college years.
No.
And yeah. Okay.
I mean, maybe, whatever.
And then lastly, the guy that ran the Max from the Max would it's this literally said used to get gay with Neil Patrick Harris
What? Neil? Okay.
while they talked about magic.
I don't remember the owner of the Max.
Yeah, I think there's a cast photo somewhere in my clip package, so you'll see him and you'll be like, I don't remember that guy in any single way. So that is the damning allegations, and I would say that this did piss off Mario. It did piss everyone off. I remember that. And they did an unauthorized biography movie based on the book. Correct? Do you remember that, Joe?
Yeah.
So
I never saw it, but
no, I didn't see it either. But the main cast, as we're going to come to see a little bit of later, they did not take kindly to Dustin Diamond's book. And like I said, this guy had absolutely nothing going on. So he had to resort to Glory Days style comedy a la Stuttering John. So
right.
this is it's kind of hard to see in here. It kind of sucks because this is just some idiot sitting in the back recording it. But this is Dustin Diamond's stand-up routine. Don't worry, everyone. Here it is. Let's start this.
Was it Nick Swartzen? He's about to get hooked off stage.
This is going to make Nick Swartzen look like Rodney Dangerfield.
We're going to have a good time, but I guarantee that at no point during my show will I be up here at any time with multicolored pants pulled up to my nipples. Nor will I have a big pubic forest fro talking about how cool Zack and Slater were. Fuck Zack and Slater. I'm just saying, fuck him too.
So it's just him being subjected to people screaming out Mr. Belding and singing the theme song of the show while he says that he's not he still has the same hair, just because it's not Kramered up off the top of your head. You do still have pube hair. You have a Jew fro.
You know what the problem with Screech was that he didn't have a catchphrase. Like, he was just Urkel. He should just be hanging out with Jaleel White somewhere.
Oh yeah,
is up on stage saying, "Did I do that?" You don't burn when you're only known for one thing. You don't shit all over it, and just eliminate any possibility for to be a part of the reunion or whatever. What a dumbass.
I know, and that's pretty much
he
what
was.
happened.
What, like a alcoholic, right?
Define
just,
alcoholic. I'm not going to be the person to point fingers.
No, I just mean he had some substance abuse problem. Was there? I don't know why. He was just down. anything to make money.
Yeah.
Was what I remember about him. It was
Well, he
whether
was
it was
right.
boxing or stand-up comedy or porn or
He went on. Yeah, he went into a like dark Screech phase where he was picking fights with the whole cast of Celebrity Fit Club and
Stuttering John's gonna wear his T-shirt with the red eyes,
Laser Eyes Screech. Yeah,
dark Dustin.
Dark Dustin. That's gonna be our shirt. I'm making that.
Hmm.
That and the Kia Boys shirt. But okay, so like I said, he's subjected to listening to people just sing the theme song to the show at him while he's trying to tell his awful jokes on stage.
No, wait. Let's play the game Spot the Fag. There he is. You're going to be embarrassed tomorrow when you tell your friends you got your ass kicked by Screech. How about that? Security, do you have a knife? You fucking guys are retarded, man.
So all the gamer words coming at you from
All the
Screech.
espresso martinis were in attendance.
Yeah. I mean, just give the guy the mic and let him finish the theme song, and maybe we can be done with it. But that would be no, I would be annoyed by that too, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I
If
know
that-
today's gonna be so bad on the internet.
Yeah, on stage at the Chuckle
I
Hut.
already know today's gonna be so bad at Helium in Scranton.
Yeah, yeah, right. Okay, one more of the stand-up routine. I just called this one bombing.
I am horny though. That wasn't a joke. I'm like that close from tapping my own grandma. It's embarrassing, is what it is. You heard me right. Love you, grandma. See, I would expect Jersey would laugh at that shit. You can't come out on stage and apparently anywhere in the country anymore and talk about banging grandmas in the first 5 minutes and that would be okay. Well, the guys don't give a shit. The girl, she's in my fucking trunk. Thanks, buddy.
Jesus Christ! At least he wasn't humping the stool like Joe Rogan.
They showed it looked like a big venue.
Yeah,
It looked like a theater.
dude, you know that people, it's like New Kids on the Block. All the little girls still come out for this. They want to relive their
Right.
innocent years and go see Screech and listen to him talk about fucking grandmas. Apparently,
Yeah, they didn't know what they were gonna get. Everybody was disappointed when they walked. They were just like, "Oh, like it's like finding out Bob Saget is a blue comedian," And I'm sure everybody left real disappointed that he probably charged $5 for a picture with him or something like that, and they're
Yeah.
like, "I bought the ticket, now I got to pay for this too." But yeah, you're right though. He probably did sell out that's a venue that somebody like this should be at.
How do you know you wouldn't like it? How do you know you wouldn't like it?
How do you know you wouldn't like Screech's comedy?
I know. The only difference between what you're saying is that Bob Saget was actually funny. But it was the opposite. He was
Right.
funnier off screen of his dumb sitcom as opposed to Screech, who still sucks on, his better work was done
He
holding
still sucks right now.
his best work was holding Lisa's books on screen.
Yeah.
So he goes through a darker phase, like we were talking.
Darker than this?
Yeah. Okay, maybe we should jump ahead to this. Well, yeah, let's go through the darker years and then circle back to post crimes or social faux pas, because the other thing, when he wasn't being terrible at stand up, he was being terrible at being a porn star. So this is when
I'm built different.
Lindsay Lohan and Paris Hilton sex tape comes out, and Kim Kardashian sex tape comes out, and
Before the internet.
their Pam and Tommy Lee sex tape comes out, and they're watching all these people cash in on these sex tapes. So he decides, well, why not me too? And the only difference,
this is a different Me Too movement.
yeah. The only difference is nobody wants to watch this guy fuck, and even he knew that. So this was all staged. I think they yeah, they had like actual people fuck on camera, but then they were like superimposing his face onto it. And
What?
this yeah, he did not really star in a porno. He does not have a sex tape.
It was like one of those jib jab Christmas movies where they take your family's head and put it all on
Yeah.
porno.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Ron Jeremy's body and Dustin Diamond like got like a Terrence and Phillip head flapping, like Mel Gibson said, talking about Dirty Sanchez is apparently.
Yeah. God damn. Freshly washed. On the other girl's lip. I leave. Let me just ask you. Come here. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
What?
You're so beautiful. Have you ever had a Dirty Sanchez? Oh!
So all fake. I mean, the Dirty Sanchez, you're supposed to have shit on your finger. There wasn't any shit on your finger. But that was the claim to fame of the sex tape, that some girl gets a Dirty Sanchez in the movie. And it gets even more juvenile than that. He starts talking about the fact that they have some kind of point system when it comes to, oh, like I donkey punched this girl, and and then I gave this other girl the Abraham Lincoln, and he's gonna get into that a little bit in a different appearance. But this is just cringy how he's trying to like sell this, and nobody's fucking buying it.
Oh, gentlemen. Okay, let's just go over a couple things here. I don't have my list in front of me, but I did keep track, and it's on video record. We know that we get 3 points for every position. We'll tally those up later. Not important right now. The important thing is to point out the things that I did accomplish that are unique, like the fisheye, for instance. Freshly washed. On the other girl's lip. Not only did I get a Dirty Sanchez in, which we all know is worth at least 15 points, I got 10 for the fisheye because it was definitely a surprise. It was not planned or prepared. I know I got 3 points for each of the positions. We'll wait till we get back to the headquarters and tally up all the bases to see where we come in. But I'm pretty sure I'm in the lead, being that if you freeze frame right at the blue jelly double dong, I believe there's poop on the end of it. So, gentlemen, I have, as always, gone above and beyond the Call of Duty. I can't wait to see what Mark does to top this. He won't be able to come close, I'm sure, because poop was involved in mine.
We all know that.
Look at you now.
We all know it's 15 points for that. Nobody knows what you're talking about. It's 10 points for every position that you do, and it's 15 points if there's shit on your finger, but it's minus 20 points because I'm just like the fifth member of Color Me Bad. What are you talking about, guy? This is all horseshit.
Yeah, this seems like this is weird. You're talking about all the scandal sex tapes or whatever. This is Girls Gone. This is his attempt at Girls Gone Wild.
Yeah,
I would say, and he was just, I'm sure, just tired of being called a fucking dork until he was 30 years old. Like,
what's up, Screech? You unfuckable loser.
Yeah,
I'll
right.
show you. I'll show everybody.
I'll show you who's unfuckable. I gave her a rusty hook.
Right. So this all transpires, and he starts developing a reputation where he's, at one point in time, he was maybe one of the most hated people in America. He just had a reputation that he was a dick and
degenerate.
Yeah. And
which is better than everyone thinking you're a fucking dork, probably.
Yeah, good point. But he did come out the other side of that with feeling bad about it. And there was well, let's see. He does end up on Extra face to face with Mario Lopez. And Mario is just like, why would you say that Tiffany Amber Thiessen fucked everybody? That's like not cool, man. And he's just kind of, it doesn't smack of sincerity, as we're gonna find out.
Is there anything you'd like to say to them if you saw them?
Gosh, yeah, I would just like to give them a hug and tell them how proud I am of what they've been doing, and ask for forgiveness for any kind of misunderstandings that may have come about by the book. And obviously it was never my intention, but with my name being put on the front of it, and with Ghostwriter, by nature of it, his name is nowhere to be, so it's believable that it was mine.
It's nowhere to be.
You're saying a ghostwriter wrote this book, and then they just slapped his name on it. That's his excuse. Okay.
A ghostwriter said that Max was getting gay with Neil Patrick Harris, not me.
Why are you being mid, bro?
Mario Lopez is like, why are you being mid?
Yeah. Yeah. Does it look like Mario Lopez is believing any of this shit?
No, Mario Lopez wants to beat the shit out of him.
He's like the nicest guy in Hollywood, and even he's just like, fuck you, dude. As we're going to see in this next clip.
What'd you think when you saw the Saved by the Bell reunion on the Tonight Show?
I wish I could have been a part of it. I didn't know that was going on till it was already done. But I thought it was funny.
Well, the problem was, Dustin, is that everybody that was involved said they wouldn't show up if you were going to be there. So there was no chance of you being involved.
Is that true?
Yeah, I actually found it. This is, how Jimmy Fallon likes to do these cute little fucking stupid things where he trucks out whatever, the whole cast is Saved by the Bell except Dustin Diamond. But let's see. So, I mean, this is what he was wishing that he could have been a part of, Joe.
Hey, Jimmy.
Oh, hey, Zach. How's it going?
Oh, typical day. I woke up in the morning. The alarm gave out a warning. I didn't think I'd ever make it on time. By the time I grabbed my books and I gave myself a look, I was at the corner just in time to see the bus fly by.
It's all right.
Man, I wish I could have been a part of that.
Wow, that's gold.
Oh my God, it's so fucking terrible. And it continues to be terrible when the rest of the cast starts showing up. But pay attention to this, Joe, because Mr. Belding makes an appearance, and he's as big as a house, and you can't really see behind him. There's an extra that is basically dressed up to pass as Screech. And when Belding walks in, the extra like moves across the screen. You're gonna hear like an applause pop, like Screech has entered the scene, and everybody's glad to see him. It's not fucking him. Okay, just pay attention to that.
So excited! I'm so excited! I'm so scared!
The member berries.
What's going on here?
You saw that guy walk through the
Yeah,
back
yeah.
pocket. Everybody thought that was like, nobody cares about Mr. Belding. Get the fuck out of here. But I mean, I'm sure people were like, oh, that guy's here too. Yeah, we got Mr. Belding. It was really hard to get him.
Was Tat there?
But, huh?
Was Tat there?
Yeah, she was there, but I didn't fuck. She comes out and she's like pregnant. She's got yeah. Yeah, she didn't look good, so I didn't include it. I'm not gonna sully her good memory.
I don't even know what they obviously were calling out the certain iconic moments. The
Yeah, that's
Elizabeth
all it
Berkley
was.
thing.
It's
and
like you said, it was
member berries.
Yeah, it was all member berries.
And then
Mario
Tat doesn't really have one other than she was the hot one.
Yeah, and she's not hot. So I mean, maybe she was pregnant for real, and they just had to use what they were the hand that they were dealt.
Mm.
But she didn't look good. So let's.
So Mario Lopez is like, how did it feel to not be a part of that?
Yeah.
If Dustin Diamond had a shred of dignity, he would have been like, who gives a fuck?
I know.
Hackest piece of shit
Yeah.
I ever saw.
Yeah, why don't you tell me, Mario, what was it like to strap on a black leotard and do some pirouettes around a live studio audience? And
That was so
it. That was so cool. The sad part is Mario Lopez looks the best out of everybody.
He doesn't. He looks like he hasn't aged a day.
Yeah, no homo. But let's see. So now,
No Diddy.
no Diddy. Now Mark Paul Gosselaar this is years ago, so he's promoting whatever season 4 of Franklin and Bash with Breckin Meyer, and this is after the book has come out, and the person that's interviewing them for what extra or whatever the fuck they're on is gonna bring it up to Mark, and he has the dignity and good taste to just kind of not have a real comment to say fuck you to Dustin Diamond on live television. But Breckin Meyer is not such a class act.
Would you like to say something about the whole thing? You're just keeping your mouth shut?
What would you like to say? You look like you're aching to say
It
something.
does. It does. He looks like he wants to say
say
something.
anything.
Wow.
From what I understand, it was based on Dustin Diamond's book. I'm guessing you
Yes.
have not read that, or have you?
I've read excerpts.
This guy's such a dick.
Danny or
I'm
Dustin?
sorry, I'm right
Dustin
here.
Diamond.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I hate to say it. I don't know Dustin at all, but like everything I read.
Everything I read is proves the point that Dustin Diamond is the biggest piece of shit. Oh, do you want to comment on that, Joe?
No.
Okay, because I have more from this. You can
Okay,
save your,
yeah, keep
save
going.
your thoughts.
Yeah.
I have 2 more clips from this interview. And away we.
But the Dustin Diamond thing is just so silly. Like it's just so I don't know. It's so negative, and it always bums me out because he's like.
It is.
I know
negative.
everybody.
That I
from
must
the
say.
show.
It's like everything that I've heard about his book is that it is negative, and I don't remember those things because my experience on the show was very positive, and that's when people say, "Oh, you don't like talking about it." It's like, no, I don't mind talking about it. I just don't really remember that time. But also, everything I do remember was extremely positive.
But like I know Elizabeth
saw
and Tiffany
friendships
and Mario, and
from it.
everyone has nothing but like awesome times to say about that, except for Dustin. And I'm
Do you
like,
think
that
it's
might be
do you
you,
think
bro.
it's bull? Do you think he's making it up, or
I
do
think
you
a bunch
think
of
he just
it
has a
is.
skewed perception of what it
I
was
think a
like?
bunch of it's bullshit.
Well, I think Drake Bell has a different perspective on being on Nickelodeon as well. So just because Zach Morris had a great time doesn't mean it was everything was hunky dory.
He doesn't remember because he was so high because he was smoking weed all the time. Dustin's just mad that Elizabeth Berkley and Tiffany Amber Thiessen didn't suck him off like me and Mario. I'd be mad too.
I think he's so full of shit, like his
It's
sex
his-
tape.
it's his perspective.
All bullshit.
It's his
You saw it. That's not him. Come on. Screech is not packing that the hell out of here. He doesn't have 6 buildings beneath him. There's no fucking way. You're full of shit, Dustin. Suck it.
And on
Buildings?
that note,
This is amazing.
Yeah, Mark Paul's new Screech, angry at the old Screech.
Breckin Myers, pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I always liked him. So that dovetails into I skipped to the porno stuff, so that I was gonna feature the porno stuff here, but rather than cover that, where he now goes on. You're gonna recognize the haircut. He's doing the apology tour thing that he did with Mario Lopez. Now he's on. He did an interview for Oprah Winfrey's show or channel, like a Where Are They Now, where he basically
on her channel, not on.
no,
Oprah.
it's not with Oprah.
Okay.
It's just like whatever happened to that dickhead Dustin Diamond, and he's telling somebody off screen that the porno was fake, and he regrets the book, and now he's going to go apologize to Mario in person, and he's going to go on a local radio show and be a little more candid about the lying and the apologies and shit like that.
All right, tell me about the porn video. You told Oprah that the porn video is one of your biggest regrets in life.
No, it was faked. It was staged.
Okay.
I mean, you had to take a chance at it. Everyone during that time period was coming out with their video, and there was rumored on TV that Paris Hilton had made $14 million off her deal, off revenue from her deal. Now, My buddy was sitting on the couch. He's like, dude, where's a Screech tape? This thing's got to be worth at least
Right.
$1 million.
People would buy
And
a
I
Screech
said, hey,
tape.
maybe, you know, like you got to opportunistic, man. You got to take a chance. What if that had made 3 million? Bye. That's my show.
Did it make
You know,
3 million?
It did not make 3 million.
It did.
No shit. It didn't make 300, I bet.
But what I'm just struggling to figure out obviously it's not like we got to get Screech on all of these other projects. So I don't know like what the time, like he was on multiple versions of Saved by the Bell or whatever, not just the original. And
Yeah.
then he went on to have at least some type of acting career. It just seems like he had was strapped for cat, like no money. Like he was just like willing to do just about anything. Like his parents didn't help him along the way, like didn't squirrel any money away for him. He never bothered to get go to college after acting. What happened?
Come on, Screech, you can't get a Silk City Screech sauce. Start selling a fucking hot sauce.
Yeah, do something. Do mall appearances. Do Comic-Con. Like I mean, it's not going to be glamorous, but you can scrape it out a living. I don't understand like why you would resort to this other than you're a fucking idiot.
I know. Just do appearances at
Right.
malls.
I'm trying not to think of myself as a piece of shit.
Right.
Right.
And he's going to go on to try and continue to justify these things and walk them back and say he's sorry about it. God, I'm bad at this.
An actual Dirty Sanchez, which you think never has taken place. Did I ask you if you know what a Dirty
You
Sanchez is?
know,
Do you know what it is?
And I do now.
Yeah.
And that was smoke and mirrors. That's like saying the rusty trombone exists, or like the donkey punch.
Oh,
No, it doesn't.
The,
It doesn't
the
exist.
rusty trombone definitely exists. The donkey punches are real, but the rusty trombone, it's absolutely a thing.
No.
If you get a girl that will rusty trombone you, I'm telling you, marry her.
That's married.
Yeah.
I
those
know
millennials are eating ass now.
Yeah, right. Fast forward 10 years and they'll tell you it's real. But I mean, maybe not in heterosexual, like in gay sex, that was a thing. It's been a thing forever.
That shows you what a loser Dustin Diamond is. He doesn't even understand the difference
Right,
between.
that's the other thing. Like he's talking about like the Dirty Sanchez, or like even the way that it's staged is like, wouldn't the finger have been up her ass? Like she would have kind of seen it coming, sort of. To turn a phrase.
Yeah. Well, that's like I said. He clearly doesn't. He thinks that a boob feels like a bag of sand, like a 40-year-old virgin. He doesn't even know the difference between a Blumpkin and a
Cleveland
rusty
steamer.
trombone.
Because
you just lied to Oprah because you don't regret it, right?
No,
was that a
it's
lie to
definitely a
Oprah?
regret, 'cause everybody saw you as like, oh, now he's a porn star. Now
He's
he
a
does porn.
jerk.
And no, you don't.
Who's got a Dirty Sanchez a girl?
Yeah, no,
right.
That never happens.
Okay.
I would never Blumpkin anybody.
So it's fake, but you still regret it.
Yeah, well, it's fake, but it's put a salty image on me that I didn't foresee.
Right. So now he just earned himself a reputation that he didn't really want. He wanted people to pay attention, but he wanted this kind of attention, right?
Doesn't know how Blumpkins work.
Yeah. He doesn't know how anything works. He doesn't know how fame works.
Friendship.
Comedy. None of it.
He would a lost individual. I mean, and it was like, we grew up watching that show. I mean, this was, I don't want to say a hot topic of conversation, but if you're a little bit younger, you heard me say before, this was like pre-internet, or when the internet was really only like reading, like the information was out there, but like having like video play was, not a thing. So like a sex tape with like everything was still like on VHS.
Oh,
and
yeah.
things like that. So
You had to rely on things to be in syndication. It wasn't on demand. So everybody watched
physical media. It would have
everybody
had
watched, yeah. Or Fox is showing 2 straight hours of The Simpsons, and Saved by the Bell all morning long.
But I mean the sex tape stuff. You would have had to like purchase that. Like you would have had to order. You would have been watching a late night show, and Girls Gone Wild would come on TV, and it would say for 19.99, send us your money, and we'll send you boobs. And then after that, you'd hear that Dustin Diamond had a porno tape, and you'd be like, how do I get my hands on that? And you'd go down to your local freaking marital aid store to find Dustin Diamond's sex tape or whatever. It wasn't. We didn't have pornography and scandalous material at our fingertips the way that we do now.
Yeah.
So my point being, we grew up watching this kid on TV, and you would be like, you would hear these things. Well, I'm not going to go see his fucking comedy. It's obviously dog shit. He was a punchline on the show. He wasn't funny on the show. He was funny looking. So I'm not going to go pay money to see his comedy. It's going to suck shit. We all knew that.
Yeah.
So you would just hear these Dustin Diamonds in the news again he was just trying to get in the media cycle for being something other than a fucking dork. And he just tremendously damaged his own reputation, like actively, and then never recovered from it.
Yeah. And I think you were right when you were saying he kind of went the way of substance abuse, because the other news item that we have are about him stabbing somebody with a switchblade on Christmas. So this is him getting arrested in Wisconsin.
The criminal complaint reveals this started Christmas night inside the Grand Avenue Saloon. The bar's owner says he didn't even recognize Diamond.
It's more his girlfriend or the lady he was with kind of started the whole incident and shoved another person.
That's when the complaint shows Diamond told
He
deputies
didn't even know it
about
was
a
a
night
boot.
that his fiancee, Amanda Schutz, had just been punched in the face. Witnesses tell investigators she grabbed a woman's cell phone saying, quote, "That's enough pictures."
And all of a sudden I heard somebody yell, he's got a knife.
The complaint says the victim didn't realize he'd been punctured in the armpit until it was all over.
He kind of stood right at the door for a second and was just kind of staring at everybody. And then as soon as he heard cops, he booked out the door.
Diamond told investigators the weapon was, quote, meant to be a deterrent to free his fiancee.
I kind of feel sorry for him. It seems like his life didn't go the way it possibly could have. I'm sad that it happened here on Christmas.
You're real Zach Morris, sir.
That's scary. Like puncturing somebody in the arm. I mean, that's too close. That's close to your lung. Like,
yeah,
he's fucking lucky he didn't really hurt somebody.
I know that. I mean, that's crazy that he did that. But
Mm-hmm.
I like that one guy. It's like Brian Schultz, witness. Oh, you mean local derelict drunk that was there on Christmas night and the night we showed up to cover this?
Stuttering John's buddy at the Pickwick.
I know. He's selling broken mini iPads to everybody on Christmas night. Oh, did you forget to buy your daughter something? Here's a broken mini iPad. If you give me a shout out in your shitty podcast. Well, that is.
I think I've used every drop, Andy.
Ah, terrific. We covered it all, and except for the tragic ending, because in 2021, at the ripe old age of 44, Dustin Diamond succumbed to small cell carcinoma of the lungs in Cape Coral, Florida, of all places, Joe. I'm not joking.
Mario Lopez shared a photo of the two of them together. He wrote, "Dustin, you will be missed, my man. The fragility of this life is something never to be taken for granted. Prayers for your family will continue on." Mario also shared these words with Access Hollywood. "He was like a little brother to me. We always remained in contact over the years, speaking just a few weeks ago after he got his diagnosis. Even then, he was full of energy and optimistic. Life is just so fragile and not to be taken for granted. My prayers are with Dustin's family and friends." Tiffany Thiessen wrote in a post of her own, "I am deeply saddened by the news of my old co-star Dustin Diamond's passing. Life is extremely fragile, and it's something..."
That was Max there at the left there. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
There he is. This guy.
I don't.
He's getting gay with Neil Patrick Harris.
He
while
definitely
talks
looks
about
like he
magic.
looks like he was a kid toucher. They didn't even talk about
And it's something
Wait,
we should
hang on.
never take for granted.
What, Joe?
they didn't even talk about his time playing alto saxophone or being part of the men's singing group Color Me Bad.
What the fuck are you
Or being related to Mike D from the Beastie Boys. They didn't mention any of this.
Godspeed, Dustin. Mark Paul Gosselaar shared his own tribute to Dustin on Twitter. It read, "Deeply
fuck are
saddened
those
to hear the
people?"
passing of Dustin Diamond, a true comedic genius. My sincere condolences to his family and friends.
Nice
Looking back
hair,
at our time
Zach.
working together,
Loaded
I
Zach
will miss
there.
those raw, brilliant sparks that only he was able to produce. A pie in your face, my comrade." Elizabeth Berkeley shared on Instagram, "I'm grateful to have gotten to create
Check
with
out my
Dustin
red
the
bikini.
beginning of our
Yeah.
dreams coming true. I will hold on to these sweet memories and the laughs we shared. Rest in peace."
And check out Showgirls. Yeah, that one was I forget that dude's name. He was a football player. That was the college years. You were like, who are those people? That
Yeah.
was the college years. He was like the RA or something on the show.
Dick butt kiss. No, it wasn't, but yeah, the college years was horseshit. That one only lasted one season, apparently.
Mm.
Most of these post main run things only lasted one season. So
Mhm.
Dustin Diamond, gone too soon. And
Mm.
he never had a chance to do a follow-up to Screech to the porno.
Yeah, 44 is too young to die of cancer. I mean, that's too bad.
Yeah. But do you accept any of his apologies? Do you think he meant
No.
any of that? Do you think he regretted the book and maybe regretted burning all the bridges and not making it onto Jimmy Fallon?
I think he probably had a ton of regrets, but like not for those things necessarily. Or I think it was always, you guys are all, super successful and I'm left here scraping, scraps off of the floor trying to scrape out a living and stuff. So I wouldn't, no, I don't think he regretted any of that shit. I don't recall hearing anything about him really regretting it.
Well, there were apologies in there.
It didn't seem sincere. Like the Dr. Oz apology, it
Yeah.
was just like, "Oh, sorry. Sorry I
Yeah,
did that."
he seemed like he was happy to be on Dr. Oz, not
Yeah.
not
Right.
happy to be given an opportunity to issue a sincere apology to his former castmates who everybody really loved and everybody just wanted to see stuff Dustin Diamond into a locker. It's like
Yeah.
you're there to so that there's some place to put the kick me sign.
Yeah. What we saw was How to Do This Right, which was Breckenmeyer with MPG there. Let somebody else talk shit for you. Don't burn that bridge. Don't close the door on a reunion. Don't close the door on a Jimmy Fallon appearance because you're jealous of everybody else that was a part of the thing that you're the most famous for.
Right.
You
You have a drop. You're in charge of the drops.
know, for
Apologies. You smoked so much weed that you got small cell carcinoma of the lungs
Mhm.
for party rocking.
Mhm. Sorry for party rocking at a Wisconsin bar with a switchblade
on Christmas.
On Christmas, what a holiday! What a way to celebrate the birth of our Savior.
What if it was an accident and he was just showing off his favorite Christmas present? He's like, check out this cool switchblade my stepdad gave me.
What
And
if
he stabs a bartender in the armpit.
He had a switchblade comb and a real switchblade, and he just confused the two.
Yeah.
He was trying to comb that guy's armpit hair.
Yeah. Well, I thought that was a pretty interesting story. Not our typical shenanigans, and it was nice to revisit those good old days of faking being sick so that I could stay home from school and watch 2 hours of Saved by the Bell.
He really could have been like the stuttering John. Like, yeah, I could see them side by side right now on the internet. Like him battling internet trolls right now for super chats. Like,
Yeah.
you
The
know,
fact that they never got to box each other was
that's the real loss.
that's yeah. Stuttering John needs to apologize to us for that.
Hmm.
All right, Joe. Well, this has been another great episode. I want to encourage everybody that's listening now. We do really need your support. If you could support the show for free by just sharing and liking and rating and reviewing the show, getting the news out to one friend of yours. Tell your mother-in-law that you want her to, for Christmas, that you're going to give her a free the whole catalog of all apologies of Spotify membershipers. You're going to give her a playlist of all of our back catalog that's available at allapologiespodcast.com, where you can also find the link to our Patreon, where you can support the show for just $5. You get a free mini-sode every Monday at 5 p.m. And we just we just put out Ray Gun was the one.
Yeah.
This is coming out in the future, so I don't know what the mini for next week is going to be. But
Subscribe on YouTube, people. That's the real thing. If you don't wanna pay for it, I understand that part of it.
Yeah.
But subscribe on YouTube for me at least. Don't make me worse than Rob Saul. All right. It's like a self-esteem issue about being, what do I have to shove my thumb up a dog's ass to get you to subscribe on YouTube?
Do you know how embarrassing it is for me to be doing a worse show than Rob Saul? Well, it's not even doing a worse show. It's just having a worse showing. He's
Yeah.
getting more eyes on that shit pile of shit that he does. We're putting on a good show over here.
Well, there's at least effort put in.
Yeah. Go into Rob Saul's chat room and tell everybody to come over and subscribe to All Apologies. That's the ask for this week. And then join our Patreon for $5. So for Joe's six pack, I'm Trucker Andy saying,
Say sorry.